We're here live, ladies and gentlemen. We're alive. Bravo! So we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Welcome. And a bunch of blah. Blah. That's what it is today. So blah. Welcome. It's March 17th. The day is March. We are live, and if some of you well, most of you, I don't even know who the fuck listens to the show who's outside, who's inside of LA. I guess probably a handful of people, but those of you who live outside of LA, at about 6:25 this morning, we experienced a nice old earthquake. Yeah, it was a nice earthquake. It was a nice jolt. And those people who are used to it because you lived here for a very long time thought it was nothing. Now others who've lived here for a long time said it was a good jolt. I guess the distinguishing thing is if you were here for the Northridge earthquake, then no earthquake unless it fucking blows down buildings was a big deal. Now this earthquake did not blow down buildings, but it definitely, as they've said, was the strongest earthquake that the valley has felt since the goddamn Northridge quake. So if that is any indication, it was about a 4, I think they said a 4.5. It was about a 4.5 at, God, what time was it? 6:12. I'm trying to think the exact, because it woke me up, it woke us up. It was 6:22 a.m. and it was a 4.5. Yeah, it was about a 4.5 on the Jesus Christ, on the Richter scale. I love that name, the Richter scale. But yes, at about 6:25, asleep, and it lasted. I say 5 seconds, but I say 6 seconds. They say it technically was like a 5-seconder. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm 40. I moved out here when I was 21. So I've been out here for 19 years. And in my 19 years of living in Los Angeles, that was the strongest earthquake I've ever felt. So that gives you any indication. Now again, we have earthquakes all the time out here. But what happens is they'll come and hit Lancaster, or they might go and hit something in Anaheim, or just something that is further away from the greater Los Angeles area. And what happens is you feel, you know, you'll be sitting there and you'll go, oh wow, is that an earthquake? And you go, oh yeah, wow, that was you know, that was shocking, but not a nothing of a, you know, nothing to freak out about. Not a big deal. You just go, oh wow, that's neat. That's a earthquake. But this was the first time that I felt an earthquake that I actually thought that the building was going to come down. That's how strong it was. it happened in, now I remember, Robertson. That was like the epicenter, which is basically Brentwood, Robertson, basically in this fucking city. I mean, it's a good, it's pretty fucking close to us. We're in Studio City. We're North Hollywood Studio City, where where Katie Summers' place is pretty much Studio City. So it's really very close to where the action was. So when this earthquake went off, and it's kind of funny because it started at a slow grumble. So it starts and it just went like that. I mean, and at one point I go, okay, this is crazy. And then I'm like, okay, wow, is it going to stop? And I'm like, okay, are we going to fucking collapse the building now? My heart was racing. My heart's like just going. And I'm like, and it's funny because Kate, that was the first time she ever experienced, again, we've experienced, was that an earthquake? Oh, wow, that was neat. This was the first time she also, since she's been out here, said she ever experienced anything that made shit fall. Where shit actually fell. Stuff went and fell over. So she fucking starts to, it wakes us, and she starts to look at me with this puzzled look. And she's like, what? And I go, this is a fucking earthquake. And I'm telling her this while we're laying there. She goes, ah. And it gets done. She goes, I thought you were shaking me. She goes, I thought you woke me up shaking me. I'm like, no, that's the fucking earth shaking you. And so she throws on the TV after, because we watch the news program in the morning. I think it's KTLA. So it's always on that station. And when we put it on, they were talking about, they were getting ready to go to a break. And right before they went to the break, the earthquake hit, and everybody jumped under desks and stuff like that, because they're kind of in that area, the city of where the earthquake hit. And so they, of course, you see it when the camera's on, everybody's on their phones, like, yes, we just had. So that's when they were going, it's a 4.5. And I guess a 5, if it hits a 5, it's considered a big deal. Like, fucking, whatever the fuck it is. Like, when it's a 5, it's like, hey now. So we were at about a 4.2, 4.3, almost 4.5. Some people said it was a 4.5. You'd have to look, and I'm sure we'll hear more news of it. But, yeah, enough that everything in the studio was shaking, and chandeliers and shit like that. So it was a very exciting morning, very exciting. And I told Katie, I said, I definitely thought the building was going to collapse, because it didn't stop, and it just kept getting progressively worse. And really, and at the height of the shake, at about the 5-second, it was like, I remember kind of sitting up a little, and I had my left hand on her, kind of like on her leg, like, are we gonna drop? Are we dropping from the top of the fucking floor all the way to the bottom? And here's the eerie, trippy, fucked up thing. Earlier in the week, we were all talking about earthquakes, and Byron was talking about how the Northridge earthquake happened, and how it was like fucking lawlessness for fucking a day or two, and we were literally talking about it. And I said to Katie, I said, worst come to worst, hopefully, because we're on the top floor, when the building collapses, we'll just be on top of a whole bunch of fucking people, and we'll be all right. We could just kind of skate down to the bottom of the rubble pile. And we all laughed and giggled. So when this happened this morning, I looked at her and said, "Ain't that something?" I said, "We just talked about this." She was like, "Fuck, man." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Fucking wow." So there you go. That was my. And when this morning when I saw Byron, I told him, I said, "You fucking." I go, "How's that for a quake?" He goes, "That was that was good." He goes, "I was in a sound sleep, so I caught the end of it." He goes, "It was definitely a bigger. It was definitely the biggest one since the Northridge quakes out here." Like I said, guys, Northridge was the earthquake that basically leveled the Northridge, and since then. We've had, of course, we've had tons of earthquakes, but nothing that rocked the valley or rocked where, this area that you went, "Oh shit, we had one again," and this was one of them. So it was definitely the biggest one in the area since I've been out here, and that's almost 20 years. So there you go. There's my earthquake. Not really much of a comedy story, because it was in and out, and then of course I went back to sleep because it was now 6:30 in the morning. My heart stopped racing, and I still wanted to get in like 3 hours of sleep before coming to the show. So that's it. There's fucking not much more of the goddamn story. And I was actually going to see. And let me check, because I don't know. I mean, it could be. I don't even know what the fucking what the stupid local is. Here, wait a minute. Yeah, here it is, guys. 4.4. Yeah, baby. So I had to look and see. Here we go. Yeah, Sepulveda Pass. So, a 4.4 magnitude earthquake and at least 6 aftershocks shook the Sepulveda Pass area Monday morning. The tremor, the tremor struck at 6:25 and was epicentered in the Santa Monica Mountains between Westwood and Encino. That's it, Westwood, Byron. I was telling Byron I couldn't remember exactly thing. Westwood and Encino. You guys gotta understand that we're very close. Encino, it goes Encino, and then you go a little ways, and there's Studio City. You go up Studio City, and North Hollywood's right there. So we're right in the shock zone, baby. And it's, closer to the valley side, about 5 miles below the surface. Residents felt the quake in Los Angeles, Ventura, San Bernardino, and Orange counties. Monday's tremor was the largest earthquake in Los Angeles since the region stopped having aftershocks from the '94 earthquake. God damn it, I'm good. Fuck, I'm good. See that shit? I'm fucking good, motherfuckers. And this is me talking without even reading this. I told you, I knew it was the fucking biggest shit since then. I've been out here for fucking 20 goddamn years, and I've never felt anything like I felt. And so here, they fucking proved me. Thank you. The quake was initially measured at 4.7, but was downgraded minutes later to 4.4. The Los Angeles Fire Department was in earthquake emergency mode as crews surveyed the city by ground and air. However, there were no reports of any earthquake-related damages or injury. Jones said it was likely that the region would feel aftershocks throughout the day, including a 2.7 magnitude quake that struck around 7:23. Yeah, we were asleep for that. Said there was a 5% chance Monday's quake could be followed up by a larger earthquake within 3 days. That is what they did say also. I forgot to add that in. Yeah, the newscaster, my man, my newscaster guy on the KTLA that we watched said the same thing. He goes, he said this could be followed up by about another big one. He goes, this could. He said this could be followed up by the big one, and everybody on the news show is like, "Oh, why are you saying that?" They're like, "Why are you saying that, Henry?" That's the news guy, Henry DiCarlo. They're like, "Henry, why are you fucking saying that, you prick?" So, oh shit. They're showing a clip on one of the NBC News, CBS News things, like a live clip on the program I'm watching, and it shows the set get shook the fuck up. That's pretty good. That was good. Yeah, that's what it looked like, man. They were, I'm telling you, it was trippy. Just like, and they didn't die. These motherfuckers didn't dive under desks. When people tell you about that, it happened so quick that the whole diving under the desk thing is, you know, I guess if shit starts to fall, you're gonna dive under the desk. But you know, I didn't have no inkling to dive under a fucking desk. I had no inkling to dive under nothing and get a door frame. My inkling was, holy shit, the building's gonna fucking collapse, and we're gonna fucking die. We're gonna fucking fall to the bottom of the fucking building, and just, you know, crumple on people. That's all. So that was it, guys, and there, exactly, the largest earthquake in LA since the '94 fucking earthquake. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah, baby. That's how good it was. That's how good it was. That's how good it was. So there's my earthquake story. That's it. That's the earthquake. Yeah, man. Yeah. Now I feel vindicated. Because I remember when I was telling Katie last night, or this morning, I go, hey man, that's the largest earthquake I've ever felt. And I've been out here, and I'm pretty sure that's the largest earthquake this fucking area has ever felt since them fucking Northridges. And I remember when I got in the car and I told Byron that, he didn't say no, but he gave me that look like, yeah, and I'm like, man, I'm telling you, that was pretty fucking close to the fucking, had to be what it would be like for the Northridge, except keep going harder and blow everything up. So maybe we'll get the big one in 3 fucking days. I'm kind of excited. The newscaster, Henry DiCarlo, seems to think we might get the big one. He said that's normally what happens. So if we get it, then you know, then everybody was right. But there it is. There's the earthquake. Heaviest thing. And if you're not from here, and if you're not from this area where you're used to that, I totally see how people would freak out and say they're definitely going to move the fuck out of California and stuff. I totally can see that. Because if somebody tells you that that's what you got to fucking live through, and that could happen at any moment, I could see where somebody would say, fuck this, I'm out of here. I'm not living in fucking LA. Because it was, like I said, it was jarring. It was big. It was monstrous, and it was pretty big. There you go. That's it. I'm done now. I already read the news. I already read the news on the earthquake. Those of you who are not from here, you don't give a fuck. I'll tell you this, if we had an earthquake on air, whoa, how fucking phenomenal would that be? Could you imagine this fucking place just starts shaking, the ground opens up, we fall through, and we land on a bunch of fucking strippers? Come on, you gotta admit that'd be pretty fucking exciting. Just boom, right on top of a bunch of fucking strippers. Boing. That'd be great. I don't want nothing to die. Well, at least not me. Yeah, they can fucking die. Like if fucking the wood caves in on their fucking stripper heads and collapses their tits and stuff, I'm fine with that. As long as I can fucking, skate down. Boom, I'm there. Just fucking poof. I land in a fucking stripper's fucking lap. Her fake fucking tattooed tits cushion my fall. But and the camera stays with us. It fucking lands all intact. It's a little wobbly, but we still keep broadcasting. We still keep going with it, man. That'd be pretty good. And I would do that for you guys because I care about you guys. I care about the entertainment, and I care about what you guys feel. And I want you guys to experience what it's like to escape death, to escape the throngs of death. So I think that'd be kind of cool. But I don't think we're going to get that, so we will move on. All right. It's the Rob Black Show. Some of you who don't know me, I am Rob Black. I am your host. You are all wonderful people. You are the greatest in the world. And we will move forward and go on with the show. So let's see where we're going to move on to today. There's like a billion things that we could go through. First, where's the fucking plane? Okay? How's that? Where's the fucking plane? That's what I want to know. And we've been talking about this, and I want to know where's the fucking plane. And if you are wondering, oh wait a minute, I gotta see this now. They got the play again of my newscasters diving under the desk. I gotta see this again. I gotta see this. Because it's Megan and Chris. That's the show that I watch, KTLA. Remember I told you they ducked under the desk. Look at his face. Look at his face. Oh man. Oh man. Hey, you fucking Chris, you big pussy. Oh, God, what a fucking face. Oh, that was hilarious. Oh, this is going to go, yeah, this is going to go viral. The KTLA morning guy, and he's the guys that I watch, like I said, but to watch them react, the guy Chris, God, I don't even know how to pronounce, Chabelle. He goes like this. Oh. Oh. What a face! What a face! I gotta see this. I gotta see what the what a fucking face, Chris. Holy shit, you look gay. Oh my God, you guys. His face is fucking priceless. Oh my God, it's funny as fuck. You guys, it's on YouTube, or it's on Yahoo News. It's like the top one of the things. I gotta tweet him. I gotta tweet him. He goes, look at his face. He goes like this. They're talking, they're doing, he goes, Megan Henderson and Chris Chabelle. This could get the newscasters that I watch. Oh, man, that was great. Oh, that was good. Oh, man. Oh, that was hilarious. All right, enough of that. That was pretty funny. If you guys, it's on Yahoo. It's KTLA News anchors dive under desk during earthquake. And this is the newscast that I watch in the mornings. This is the newscast that I watch in the mornings when we're up early. This is the newscast. So this is them diving under the desk. We didn't watch it live. We were asleep. So when it happened, we turned the TV on, and that's what pops up because we leave it on there. And they were all talking about it. So this is the first time I see them dive under the desk. Oh, man, that was funny. God, he looks retarded. Yeah, I'm definitely going to bust his balls. Be like, wow, you just freaked out. That was classic. Ugh. Man, that was funny. Anyways, okay, back to what the fuck we were talking. I don't even know what we were talking about. What were we talking about? We're starting to talk about the news. Oh, where's the airplane? Don't know where the fucking airplane is. That's gone. Fucking airplane's gone. You got pornography. You got geez, like and I think we got. I was gonna tell hey Byron, why don't you put up a story? Put up one of the fucking stories. Whatever. We got like 3 of them. Put up. I don't know. Put something up. I'm sick of looking. We got like 3 of them. I'm sick of looking at Jules Jordan's fucking face. I don't know. So put up. I don't know. I know we have more. What story do we have? What else? Go ahead, put up Jessica. I'm sick of looking at fucking Jules. All right, we're gonna put up a Jessica Drake story, guys. Okay, it's an older story, but it's funny. It's about when she did her American Horror Tour, or something that involves her being called a whore. And it's funny. It's very funny. Because I'm sick of looking at Jules Jordan. He's a fucking jerk off. It's like I'm over it. It's like it's enough. I'm done with the fucking Jules Jordan fucking bullshit. It's like, all right, let's move on. You know what? I'll tell you. It's like, it's almost like, it's like so. I'm so. God, it's like such a I don't know. It's like fucking porn. You know, like today I'm so not into a porn day. I'm serious. I'm so not into porn. It's like today I feel unporn-like. But I know I'm going to wind up having to talk about something just because something will amuse me, but I'm just so. It's like today is such a non-porn vibe, just because it's. The people in this business they're just so lame. They really are. They are what we would refer to in prison as lames, just fucking losers, and that's really they're just losers, and the websites are losers, and the people that run the sites are losers. The information they give you is fucking useless. The people that are making the movies are losers. It's just one big loser fest. And any of the stuff that you talk about that is actually pertinent or amounts to anything, nobody really talks about because there's really nothing progressing the storylines because the people that control the certain information highways have their own agendas or are just incompetent and stupid. So it's like, ugh. It really is. So porn, it's just so undignified, just so stupid. There's just nobody's entertaining. It's just silly. It really is just silly. When you look at AVN and the fact that people will not reference AVN as being Manwin, it's silly. AVN is 100% owned by Manwin. Manwin owns AVN. Manwin owns a big portion of the companies in this business. And nobody will recognize it. And people legitimately treat AVN as it's a separate entity. They treat AVN as it's a body that is owned independently and it's run, and it's not. AVN is owned by fucking Manwin. It's owned by Manwin. Plain and simple. And I've told you stories about Manwin and the concept of them basically owning the back end of Wicked, and no one talks about that. Instead, people talk about really useless shit, but then they assume that AVN is going to talk about something pertinent. Well, why? They're owned by Manwin. That's it. Manwin owns AVN. AVN is one of the properties that Manwin owns. And here's something, besides the fact that I give you guys evidence from the points of Gene Ross months and months and months and months and months ago having meetings with Theo Faspusis at a dinner or at a barbecue and meeting Raul Christensen and all these Manwin guys, and that wasn't good enough for anybody. It's like, okay, but even if you look at certain things they do in business, it all points to Manwin. I'll give you an example that nobody ever reported on except us. And if I would have known even more of the backstory of it, I would have even given you more of a slam dunk. But I actually have it in my stupid phone just because I wanted to bring it up. Like, it makes a difference, but it at least proves my point. Do you remember, you guys, when that girl Mila Malakova won this year's Performer of the Year, or Best Newcomer? Okay. And remember, I made fun of it, and I mocked the fact that a whole bunch of girls like, I don't even fucking know the girls, whatever the fucking girls were, that didn't win the award, who were more known than Mila Molokavachi, and was more popular and so forth and so on. And I said, you know, who would make this up? Why would they give this award to Mila Malakovich? What is her connection to Manwin? Well, nobody came up with this because everybody likes to just sit in the dark and not talk about these things. And if I would have known this, I would have brought it up and made the connection even more. So now let me explain to you people something which I never knew, but now it explains it. And here it is. Back in 2012, okay, Mila Malakova was the Twisties' December treat of the month. Now, Twisties is owned by Manwin. We all know that, right? Yes. So, in 2012, Mila Malakova was the December treat of the month. Then, she was voted treat of the year in 2013 from Twisties exclusive members. Right? That's fact. So Mila Malakova won treat of the year from Twisties for 2013. Twisties is a Manwin company. Then guess what? This year's AVN Award show, she wins the award for Best New Starlet. Manwin owns AVN. Mila Malakova, who none of us knew who she was a Twisties girl who won the December treat of the month and then went on to win treat of the year, who then went on to win AVN's Best New Starlet. So, if that, again, is not more indication that Manwin is owned by AVN and vice versa, I don't know what is. And here's the fucking funny thing with you all. None of you will want to admit that, because that would throw all of your dreams and hopes out the window. Because right now, you all can bitch and moan about taking money and piracy and all that stuff, and tube site this, and Manwin sucks, and that's all right, because a lot of you don't deal in those types of aspects. But every single one of you losers deal with AVN. Every single one of you losers go to their convention. Every single one of you loser talents want to win their awards. So if you guys had to admit that Manwin owns them, then the next logical step would be, well, then you have to fucking boycott AVN. But none of you want to boycott AVN because that dashes all your fucking dreams and hopes. So instead, you play this little fucking pussyfoot game with the AVN. And it's funny. It's funny to watch you fucking gutless, spineless bitches all fucking deal with AVN with kid gloves, even though you all know that Manwin owns them. And then here's another funny, more proof of, like, I should say circumstantial proof. If you guys noticed, Friday, before we went on the vacation, out of the fucking blue, just out of the blue, what shows up on AVN's top story is, and this was funny, that Axel Braun and his Riley Steele Gonzo release had just become the number one. The number one. I repeat, the number one. The number one. Should we say it again? The number one I'm going to say it one more time because I know this, this will get lost on you all. The number one movie in the AVN fucking ratings. Yeah. The number one movie in the AVN ratings is Axel Braun's fucking movie about Riley Steele doing blowbangs. I swear to God. The number one movie for AVN is Riley Steele blowbang. And we had talked about how Axel hadn't done a real movie, yada, yada, yada. But it was the number one sales and rental, which is Riley Goes Gonzo from Axel Braun / Wicked Pictures. Now, we've talked about this from day one. Wicked Pictures. Now, we say half owned by Manwin. But I'm beginning to feel that they are completely owned by Manwin. They just have a deal that has Ornstein as still operating the company. And he's probably one of the few people that actually made a deal with the Manwin people that prevented him from getting fucked over, believe it or not. But at the end of the day, Riley Goes Gonzo, and that movie's been out for... So seriously, do you guys realize how old that movie is? That movie basically came out around December. It actually came out in January. I think the first week of January. So 2 months later, it is now the official top sales and rental. Really? Come on, man. Really? 2 months later, out of the fucking blue, it is officially the top sales and top rental. Came out January 22nd. So it's now the official top sale and rental. Really? I didn't know that that's how the movie business worked. Even Hollywood. I didn't know that a movie like, Transformers, forget opening weekend, forget that. I didn't know that a movie starts out and it comes, oh man, 2 months. I didn't know a movie comes out and 2 months later, it's now the number one movie in America. After tons of again, everything that our business does, it just is so half-assed backwards, and all of you accept it like, yeah, because if you say anything, you're going to get a fucking fist shoved up your asses. And whatever piece of fucking cookie crumb is left on the fucking plates, you guys need those crumbs. So, you have a Gonzo movie. Think about this. You have a Gonzo movie that was released almost 2 months ago that is now all of a sudden the number one release in AVN's fucking chart. And now, two things. That's because the movie is done shitty in sales, and this is a way to try to get people to go out and buy and rent the movie. So they do a press release on it Friday saying, oh my God, it's the number one movie in fucking in America right now, according to AVN. And number two, all you distributors, if you haven't gotten this movie, it's the number one movie. And you have other distributors that are left, 4 or 5, and they go, oh, I guess I better get this if everybody else has it. That's the concept. But it's just an asinine concept because the movie has been out for 2 months. I mean, in that vein, why don't you put fucking Underworld up there, for Christ's sakes? Put Underworld as the #1 fucking movie and rental sales out there. I mean, seriously. Help me out here, Peter Warren. Since you reviewed the movie, since you're the guy that controls the action over there, help me out. Help me out. Please help me out. So if you think about it, yeah, fucking unbelievable, unbelievable. So you got to think. The Performers of the Year, 2014. That was Elegant Angel's big movie. And of course, you have the hottest performers of the year in the fucking movie. I mean, duh, that is huge. That is enormous. Look at the girls in the fucking movie. I mean, it's huge. It's fucking huge. And if I recall, let take a look. Just so I don't talk out of turn. Year 2014. If you look at this movie and try to figure out when this fucking thing came out, and you say to yourself, oh, when did it come out? It's like it came out. Look at the girls in this. So you have Bonnie Rotten. Come on, man. It's just so. Skin Diamond, Remy LaCroix, Danny Daniels, right? Right? And not Remy LaCroix. Who's this fucking girl? See, I don't even know some of these fucking jerk-offs are. Hold on. It's pretty funny because it's one of those things where you go, why isn't this the #1? Why isn't this the #1 movie? If it came out around the same time, it's Elegant Angel's biggest release. It's the biggest girls. Why is this not the, release date? It's like, I can't even figure out when it came out. Fuck it. Anyways, seriously, dude, I can't even fucking figure out when this piece of shit came out, which makes it amusing. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because nobody gives a shit. It's a Manwin-owned. Manwin-owned entity, and they do what they want. And everybody in the business will not say anything to that because it would basically shut everybody off. It would. I mean, it would shut everybody off. And everybody would freak out. And you would basically officially destroy the concept of the porn business. And it would make people cry. I'm seriously, you would see people fucking cry. Here, got it. So, Performers of the Year was released 3 weeks before Axel Braun, and it stars Skin Diamond, Riley Reid, Maddie O'Reilly, Remy LaCroix, Bonnie Rotten, Veruca James. Those are the stars. How the fuck is that not the #1 release after 2 months, but Riley Steele goes gonzo. That's the #1 release. Get the fuck out of here. Again, because Wicked and AVN are owned by the same entity. I know. You guys, again, you can't say anything. You guys can't fucking bitch and moan. I get it. But you do realize that you all look incredibly stupid by bitching about Manwin, but yet you all are in bed and you all do business with AVN. You do realize that. Seriously, you guys realize how fucking ignorant and stupid you all are and seem when AVN is Manwin, but you all do business with AVN, but you bitch about Manwin on every other aspect of the business. Again, you realize that, right? Right, you guys? Right, dummies? That's why this business is so stupid. So I'm serious. That's why this business is so retarded. Let's say it again. You do realize that Manwin owns AVN. You fucking realize that? And as long as you do business with AVN, you're doing business with Manwin. You realize that? You fucking realize that, guys? Or will you not admit it because nobody has publicly came out and said that? Which one is it? Which one is it, dummies? Which one is it? Again, Manwin owns AVN. Plain and simple. Plain and fucking simple. The entire AVN structure is owned by Manwin executives. They own all of these different entities, and they put people in these managerial positions. Theo Thaspusi is one of those people that are in charge of Manwin. Raul Christensen is in charge of fucking AVN as part of Manwin. Again, when you do business with AVN, you're doing business with Manwin. Do you understand that? Do you guys understand this? Do you understand this? Do you understand this? That's why this business is a joke. You people are fucking retards. You bitch about everything Manwin does except for AVN. Because if you bitch about AVN, your life is fucking meaningless. You realize that? All the talent, all they live for is if they can win an AVN award. But AVN's owned by Manwin. So if you shit on Manwin, then AVN's not going to give you an award. All these studios who want their AVN awards, and they go to their internet shows, but if they bitch about Manwin and cut Manwin off, then they have to do the same thing for AVN, and they don't want to do that for AVN because they need to promote their little fucking bullshit at AVN and give the illusion that they're fucking important. So again, everybody's just hypocritical. Everybody's hypocritical. Everybody's a lying piece of shit. And that is the business. That's it. I mean, that's the business. It's pretty simple. It is what it is. And it'll never be anything different. It'll never be anything better. And I said AVN will eventually fold before the end of the year. Manwin will construct that and bring that into a tube format, plain and simple. So I'd love to see all of the big tough talkers go after AVN, but I don't think they will, because they'll never get the support to have people boycott AVN, because in order to boycott AVN, you have to dash on all the talent's hopes and dreams. So until that day comes, you guys are nothing more than bitch-ass punks, because you will still play ball with AVN even though they're owned by Manwin. And you'll talk shit on Manwin out the side of your mouth about other stuff that are meaningless. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're all a bunch of punk-ass bitches. So, we're going to take a break so I can go fucking piss, because you people are punk-ass bitches. And when we come back, maybe we'll talk about some porn. Maybe we'll talk about the goddamn airplane and try to figure out where it is. Or maybe we'll talk about Putin. Maybe we'll talk about fucking a movie I saw last night. Maybe we'll talk about why everybody's fucking stupid. So, anyways, we'll be back. You guys are all fucking nuts. And that's it. It's the ROB Black Show. You're all fucking nuts. And we'll go from there. And I don't know. Fucking porn. God, so silly. Anyways, what? I'm gonna give you guys some taxidermy tips. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. It is the fucking ROB Black Show. Welcome. I am here. Well, hold on. Start this fucking thing. Oh, you gotta start that fucking thing. I am your host. Your taskmaster. All those things. That's what I am. I'm here, and I'm ready to take you to places that you can only dream of. I'm here to take you to places, fucking committed, that you can only imagine. I am here to take you for the next 3 hours on a journey into sound. I am ROB Black. Some people call me El Diablo. Some people call me El Negro. Some people call me Roberto Black. Some people call me Delicious. I like to just refer to myself as the chosen one, a simple man, the son of a carpenter, and that's who I am. How is everybody today? It's fucking gorgeous out. I know. Those of you who are back on the East Coast, you gotta hate that word. You gotta hate the concept of gorgeous out. I know. I get it. I get it, because it's still fucking snowy. It's still blizzardy. It's still all of the things that make the East Coast dog shit, and all the reasons why I left that miserable, freezing, cold tundra that is known as Rochester, New York. Yes, I grew up, born and raised in Rochester, New York. If some of you don't know where Rochester, New York is, it's what they would call upstate New York. And what that is, let me explain to you. Have you ever heard of the word buffalo? Yes, buffalo, like Buffalo Bills. Okay, you have that that little area, Buffalo. Okay, right there, Buffalo. And then you got a thing called Syracuse. Now, have you ever heard of that? You know, you have the orange drink, Syracuse. And you got that basically right here. And in between Syracuse and Rochester is a town called Rochester. Yes, Rochester. Now, in that area, we have what can only be referred to as a once budding industry. We had a company called Eastman Kodak. Now, there's still a company there called Eastman Kodak, but it's a shell of what it was. When the film industry, as far as photography, click, 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 and you would have to look at chrome. So it was filmed in these little negative-looking things. We have to put them on a light box and so forth and so on. That, ladies and gentlemen, was the era when Kodak was huge. The normal pictures that one would take when you take your roll of film and you bring it on down to a 1-hour photo mat, and you wait, and you pray on God that no picture of you with your dick in your girlfriend's face was in there, so the local drugstore clerk doesn't see your dick pictures. And you're like, oh, good, it's not. And then you remember, oh, shit, I did take that one picture of my girl with my jizz on her face. No dick, it's just her smiling from the neck up with jizz on her face. And you're thinking, well, I hope they assume it's just some lotion. But nonetheless, you get that pictures and that paper, that flimsy paper is 9 out of 10 a Kodak film development paper. Yes, and also the cameras back to that that used film, all Kodak, everything was fucking Kodak. And at the time, Kodak had employed thousands and thousands of people in Rochester. Another big industry that was in Rochester was a company called Xerox. Yes, you youngsters out there only think of Xerox as, hey, I'm going to go Xerox this, meaning a hobby. Well, that is the generic slang for a company called Xerox, the copiers that basically invented photocopying. Now, that's a thing of the past when you have computers that print and so forth and so on. There is really no concept of a giant, bulky machine that copies things. Normally, girls' bare asses when they sit on them at office parties and get fucking hammered. Or where you put your face on it and go, and you fucking copy it off and you pass it around and go, look, my face, Xerox invented those. And that is in Rochester, New York. And we also had a company that was a huge moneymaker called Bausch & Lomb. Yeah, Bausch & Lomb. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. They made. Okay, great. Who the fuck? So, how's everybody doing? I am back. I am back for my home. So, I don't know. God. Oh, God. Man. Oh, Christ. Anyways, let's talk about what the fuck is going on. It's an interesting story, and I watched a movie last night. I did, and I'm gonna give you guys the 411 on it. And if any of you want to watch it, I'm gonna tell you what the name is. And one of my resident listeners, by the name of Big Pat, sent me the information to watch it last night, and I watched it. And it was good. And it kind of goes with another email that I got from, hold on, from Jack Smack. So let me give you guys a 411. Last night, I watched a movie called For the Bible Tells Me So. And what this movie was about was what it was a movie, a documentary about people that use the Bible and things from the Bible that reference of gays being abomination, and God hates gays, and they all should fucking die, and if you're gay, you're gonna die, and you're an evil motherfucker, and you'll go to hell, and blah, blah, blah. And so the documentary basically talks about a group of people that all were gay and or are gay, because one of the people are actually, one of the young women in the movie are dead. So it shows each kind of a group. So when I say group, it's somebody that comes out that they're gay, and ultimately it's about their family accepting it. And some of these people are important figures. It has Dick Gephardt, who actually ran for president of the United States, and it's, his daughter, who is gay, is in this. Talks about one of the first bishops that we have that's gay, and it has his story, and it shows the God Hates Fags group, and which kind of brings me to this. So it's kind of like two stories into one. I got sent this article that shows and states the Westboro Baptist Church founder Fred Phelps Sr. is on the edge of death. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. And right now it says the Reverend Fred Phelps, leader of the controversial Westboro Baptist Church in Topeka, Kansas, is reportedly near death. No one's going to protest against this guy's death. Westboro Baptist Church founder Fred Phelps Sr. has been admitted to a hospice facility and is on the edge of death, his estranged son revealed. The 84-year-old preacher established the small Kansas church in 1955 and made it a household name by picketing funerals, public events, and businesses with hateful signs attacking gay people, Jews, and others. I've learned that my father, Fred Phelps, senior pastor of the God Hates Fags Westboro Baptist Church, is now on the edge of death in Midland Hospice in Topeka, Kansas. Son Nathan Phelps wrote on Facebook. Steve Drain, a Westboro spokesman, confirmed Sunday that Phelps is in ill health. I can tell you that Fred Phelps is having some health problems. Drain said he's an old man and old people get health problems. In his Facebook post, Nathan Phelps, who left the church 37 years ago, said Westboro excommunicated his father in August. Drain declined to comment on whether Phelps has been voted out of the church he established. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Terribly ironic that his devotion to God ends this way, destroyed by the monster he made. Nathan Phelps wrote in the post, which had been shared more than 1,000 times as of Sunday night. I feel sad for all the hurt he's caused so many. I feel sad for those who will lose the grandfather and father they loved. The Westboro members frequently protested the funerals of American soldiers with signs bearing messages like thank God for dead soldiers, and thank God for 9/11, claiming the deaths are a divine punishment for the country's tolerance of homosexuality. They first attracted widespread attention by picketing the 1998 funeral of Matthew Shepard, a Wyoming college student tortured and killed in an anti-gay attack. The Southern Poverty Law Center, a civil rights nonprofit organization, has described Westboro as a hate group, and some people reacted to Nathan Phelps' Facebook post with glee. Thank God he is almost dead. Party time. User Victor Purchase wrote below the post. Others preached goodwill. I may not have supported his lifestyle. In fact, I stand for everything his church is against, but that doesn't give me the right to be happy about someone dying, wrote Corey Barkley. The church's sick activities inspired a federal law limiting protests at funerals for soldiers, along with numerous state restrictions on picketing at funeral sites. Just Wednesday, a federal judge upheld a Missouri law requiring protesters to stay at least 300 feet away from a funeral site. But Westboro won a First Amendment victory in 2011 when the U.S. Supreme Court said church members couldn't be sued for money damages for inflicting pain on grieving families. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have the fucking Westboro Memphis Baptist Church God Hates Fags guy on his deathbed, and thank God. Anyways, that is part of the documentary last night that I watched, because it shows some of these Westboro Baptist Church people picketing with the God Hates Fags and has them screaming and yelling. And again, it's horrible. It's fucking horrible. And the documentary is really good because it outlines these people and their struggles they had to go through with their family based on religion. And we've had this conversation time in and time out that religion is ultimately the root of all evil. It is. And you can't get any more evil, and that is on the Christian side, that's the Jew side, that's the Muslim side, that's the Buddhist side, and it's every side that that worships an imaginary man in the sky. And when you watched this documentary last night, you literally found it amazing. And even Katie Summers at one point paused the television show and said to me, it's amazing that these people hate based on what a fictional book says. And I just gave her this look like, yeah, no shit. She goes, no, seriously. She goes, it makes you really get overwhelmed by people's stupidity that they would hate based on an imaginary man in the sky, a book that has two different versions, a book. And I said, first, wow, look at you with the big fucking brains all of a sudden. And she says, hey, I do got the big brains. And she goes, and secondly, it's amazing. I said, secondly, it's amazing that you are this overwhelmed that people are like this. And she said, well, I've never really seen opposing sides. She goes, you know, I'm 24, I'm from Texas, and I grew up in this environment. And so I never really knew any different. Now, I was not around people that said God hates fags, nor was I around people that said God says don't be gay. She goes, but it was not something that was very prevalent in Texas, so it wasn't a lot of gay people. And it wasn't a big thing in our school. We didn't have openly gay people. And I said, well, I think it's more of a north, more of an east-north instead of a down-south. And so we talked like that a little bit about the South. And as the program went on, they even mentioned that they felt that tolerance in the South was something that is not there yet. And we paused it again and said, look at that. They even agreed with what we were saying before we even saw it on the goddamn documentary. And so it's a good documentary. And again, you don't have to be pro-gay and let's fucking have the village people fucking dance in the street type of thing. It's nothing that is like that at all. And that's, again, not what I'm saying. And the concept of tolerance doesn't mean let's fucking, you know, be gay. Let's fuck each other in the ass and blow each other. And there's a line, and it's not a fine line. It's just a line. And this documentary, again, it's that religion thing, man. It makes you, it makes you question the gene pool of anybody that believes in religion, where they use that book as something that dictates what they do in their life. It really does. It makes you question people's intelligence when they say to you, well, we can't do this because the book says this certain thing. And this documentary did a really good thing last night. And it's, again, when you argue with religious people, they don't really have a question, or I should say they don't really have an answer to your question. They will bring up the verses in the Bible that say, you know, don't fuck another dude, or don't fuck another woman if you're a woman, and you're going to burn in hell. But when you also bring up the facts that they also talk about don't eat shrimp, or you're going to fucking suffer damnation. Nobody has an answer for it. Well, what does that mean? People eat seafood, shrimp all the time. Catholic people, religious people eat shrimp all the time. What's the rationale of that being acceptable? It also talks in the Bible that man is allowed to have multiple wives. It does. In one of the sections, it talks about a man being able to take a multiple wife. They don't want to talk about that in the Bible. They talk about giving away all of your wealth to the poor and needy. It does. The Bible talks about basically living not rich at all, and giving away more than 20%, 30%. They talk about basically giving away all of your wealth. And they don't want to talk about that in the Bible. For some reason, Bible people, religious nuts, only want to pick out the whole God hates fags thing. And that is what they will harp on. And this documentary basically even shows how that can be interpreted differently. And what abominations and all of these words really mean, and what they were meant to mean back in the story time of people writing this fictional book. And the fact of their interpretation of God saying that abomination and breaking the law of God, or breaking the law of a morality code, or if it's a suggestion, and these things are different than God himself saying you're going to go to hell for it and you're going to be condemned. And they have a very poignant part where one of the great religious leaders, Desmond Tutu, is talking, and he says he can't fathom that God would damn somebody for being a woman. He can't fathom God would damn somebody for being black. He can't fathom God would damn somebody for being gay. And he said, and it's all the same thing. And again, it makes you question anybody's rational thinking when they literally have a book that is completely made up, and you have an Old Testament, a New Testament, this fictional story that is based off of other stories in the past. And people use those stories as a way to rule their lives and other people's lives. That makes you question everything that you would want to involve yourself with those people in every aspect of life. And I'm not talking about just saying, hey, how you doing? You want to go to dinner? I'm talking about when that person is the school teacher. I'm talking about when that person is a healthcare provider. I'm talking about when that person is a congressman or a senator. When that person is anything in a authoritative position where they can hold people down, where they have a control of a person, where they can enslave somebody. And that, my friends, is incredibly frightening and incredibly dangerous, because what you have is huge pockets of the South. And what this documentary showed were a lot of these families were from places like Arkansas, Tennessee, okay, Mississippi. These are places that shows that the intelligence level, and again, when I've talked like this, I've had people get upset at me and say, wow, you know, Rob, you make good points, but then you trash on your good points with making fun of people and using harsh language. And the only thing I can say is, what other wording or what other language can be said when literally people look at a book and say, right here, it says, I can deny you of rights, or I can be mean to you, and I can hurt you, I can punish you, and what other wording can you say about that person? Then they're stupid, they're ignorant, they're assholes, they're retarded. What other words can be described for people like that? And the Bible, and I've always said this from day one, and this documentary talks about it, the Bible has been used to oppress women. It's been used to oppress blacks. It's been used to oppress all types of individuals that the Christian faith at one point or another felt threatened by. And when I say threatened by, again, you're talking about a multi-trillion-dollar business. And you have to use the word trillion because in the concepts of when the church started and collecting money to now, you have to assume you're talking in the trillions. And with this amount of money, there becomes protection, almost like a mafia, almost as if they have to protect their interests. And so throughout the years, you've had certain individuals that have threatened that wealth, whether it's women, whether it's blacks, and whether it's gay. And you've had everything in the power of the church to make sure that those groups would be oppressed. And I think now why you see this new Pope, Francis, and what his message has been is tolerance. And I think this Pope has taken the church in a different direction. Again, church is big business. It's about money. And I think the younger generation of church leaders that were in part of the picking of Pope Francis and bringing him into power, recognized that if they were going to survive as this money-making entity, they needed to bring their message up to date. And you can't, and I don't care how long religion has been around, you can't continue on a path when you lose members. It's just like a porn site. Think about it. It's just like a porn site. You lose members. You lose membership. You need to get fresh content. And if the content is old and continuing to be old and not fresh, then it becomes stale. And in today's era, you can't have websites that have porn performers being ugly, not doing anal, not taking fucking facials, not, you know, as silly as it sounds, and especially people that are going, ooh, this is a really good religious conversation, and now he's talking about porn. I'm, again, trying to equate it to where some of my audience that knows what I'm talking about and how I have to take things to the extreme where they can identify. And that's one way to identify. Pay sites, memberships, Netflix. Netflix. You constantly got to have new content on Netflix. And if you don't have new content, you're going to cancel your membership. Well, if the Catholic Church is constantly telling people that they're going to go to hell because of what they're doing, and you have huge flows of the population that are coming out of the closet and becoming more tolerant of gay people. And when I say more tolerant, you're getting same-sex marriages, and you're getting the things where instead of gay people being in the closet, they're now out of the closet. So when you have a population that consists of 100, but you really had a population that consisted of 200, but those 100 were in the shadows, and now they come out from the shadows, well, guess what? That is either 100 more people to influence not to follow a church or a politician, or to follow a church or a politician. And ultimately, out of all the things that the church preaches that are quote-unquote bad, homosexuality is the one thing that I think Pope Francis and the power structure in the church sat down and said, okay, listen, we can reform our ideas on this because we can get away with this. We can't get away with saying abortion is all right, because ultimately that's killing. So we should take that off the table. But we can get around hating of gays. And then one of the hierarchy in the business structure of the church says, well, why? And Pope Francis and his supporters say, because ultimately Jesus Christ professed love of everyone. And our message can easily take, hey, we love everyone, even if they're gay, even if they're transsexual. Because ultimately, God loved Mary Magdalene. Ultimately, God loved all of these people that stuck sticks in his fucking eyes and killed Jesus, and so forth and so on. So we could get away with saying, hey, the new stance is tolerance, and we feel when we go through and reread things from the Bible that Jesus, if he was here today, would be fine with gay people. So it's easy for the Catholic Church to get their minds around that. And if they're going to change everything that is bad with the church, there's things that they can really do now that gets people to be excited to be Catholic or Christian again. And not gay bashing is something that they could probably pick up. Jesus Christ, 2, 3, 4, 5 million followers. Seriously. It's all big business, ladies and gentlemen. If you think it's anything other than that, you're fucking sadly mistaken. It's all big business. And by lifting this ban on gay bashing, you instantly convert new members. And those members are payers, just like a porn site. Payers. You go to church, that fucking collection plate comes along, you take out your money, you put it in the collection plate. That's a member, and that's a payer. And that keeps the money flow circulating. You realize that Catholic churches and all of the denominations of religious faith that don't pay taxes, you do realize that if you just taxed these organizations as a whole, say 20% to 30%, you would solve all of the homeless problem, poverty problem. You would solve every problem that is in the United States of America that involves poor people. You would be able to supply housing. You'd be able to supply food. You would be able to supply all of the things that the Republicans complain about that the whopping $5 per person goes to food stamps and things like that. If you tax the Catholic churches 20 to 30%, you would solve the nation's homeless problems. You would solve every food shortage when it comes to the food stamps. I mean, literally, you would eradicate it. Eradicate it like that. That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. Look it up. Look it up. If you look at what churches take in per year, and it's untaxed, and levy a 20 to 30% tax against them, and add up how much money you're talking billions. Talking about billions. When the government says they spend $3 or $4 billion on food stamps and SNAP benefits for poor people, that could be tripled by the Catholic Church by taxing them. It's big business. And at the end of the day, the Catholic Church realized that in order to keep that big business, they had to make changes. And let's face it, nobody here doesn't eat shrimp. Okay? You're not even supposed to eat pork. We're not even supposed to eat pork, ladies and gentlemen. Not even supposed to eat pork. You're not supposed to eat pork. You're not supposed to eat shrimp. And you're supposed to give 80% of your wealth away to the church. All three of those things people don't do. You're not supposed to get divorced. You're not supposed to get divorced. People do. These are all things that we do. But homosexuality was always that thing that everybody steadfast and held on to, like it was the fucking rope that was going to prevent you from going over this ledge. And so now the Catholic Church is becoming tolerant of it because they need those members. They need to basically reshape the way they look, because ultimately, like this documentary shows, more and more people, as we evolve as a society, are having more and more people that you are finding out that are gay in people's families. So when you are a hate monger and you're somebody that says God hates fags, and all of a sudden you wake up in the morning and it's your son or your daughter or your your uncle or your aunt, and they say, I'm gay, you have to make a distinction if you're going to disown them, shun them, and stone them, or if you're going to accept them. And if you accept them and you're a religious person, then ultimately you take a step back and say, well, if I accept them and my faith is fine with it, then why the fuck isn't any of these other faiths fine with it? Why aren't these other people fine with it? So then you go on a crusade, a mission. And this documentary shows a lot of these families who are all faith people. You have, again, a minister and a I think a woman would be called a minister, yeah. I mean, or a pastor, a black couple where they both are preachers, and their daughter is gay. And it showed that it was hard for them to accept that, especially the mom. But as a little bit of time went on, they accepted it, and the mom accepted it, and they had come to terms with it, and they are as fine as a black family from the South is going to be with it. It showed a mother who basically ostracized her daughter to the point where the daughter hung herself. And it took that for the mother to kind of study more about homosexuality and what it's about. And now this mother is a huge crusader, and she was a big church person. She was a speaker in the church, and now this lady is a huge crusader for tolerance of gay people, and the fact that she ostracized her daughter to the point of her daughter hanging herself. And now this lady is this huge activist who marches with gay people and does a whole really conversion. And again, as we grow more into the years of 2014, 2015, 2016, and we get away from images of Ronald Reagan speaking and giving a quote, say that if he could be if he was stranded on a desert island and could only be there and have one book, what would that book be? And he proudly proclaims the Bible. And we have drifted very far away from that. And so this tolerance has to be met. And I'll tell you, and I've said this before, maybe some of you don't know, when I watched this documentary, and especially Gephardt, especially our vice president, he could have been. He's kind of like Biden. He was around during the whole Biden era of running for president and so forth and so on. And I'll tell you, Obama could have easily picked Dick Gephardt as a vice president and would have won the presidency as Dick Gephardt as our vice president, just as Joe Biden. Very same era and very kind of same politician, and respected as far as politicians go and Democrats go. But the Dick Gephardt has his story of his daughter who was married, and she eventually got divorced and went through a whole kind of change with the family and so forth and so on, because she realized that she wasn't happy being with the husband and having to kind of fake these feelings of heterosexual happiness and so forth and so on. And I explained to y'all before that my sister is gay. And it was, again, if we look back on my sister and how she was, you totally can see it, because my sister always dressed like a butchy, like a lesbian. She always had even, and this is when she was married, had the short hair, and not the short crop top, but that short Billie Jean King lesbian dude, where it's like to the shoulders, and it's kind of like feathered, feathered up and stuff, and she was fat, and she looked, I would call her Rosie O'Donnell. And so she was married to my brother-in-law, hardcore Italian, guinea wop motherfucker from Sicily, and her friend Lynn, who later came out as gay. She hung out with Lynn, and Lynn had the same hair, that Billie Jean King short feathered hair, and she looked like a lesbo. And so they hung out, and now all of my sister's friends looked very womanly, and acted very womanly. My sister acted womanly, but you've seen I'm telling you, my sister, as far as I always remembered, was the body shape and look of Rosie O'Donnell. That's how I was just this fat girl that was very masculine. I remember, and my sister was very, she's older than me, so we never lived together. My sister and my brother are from my dad's first marriage. That's where the gay gene is. And so, and so that side of the gay world, it's horrible. But that is where my sister and my brother grew up with my dad's first wife, Ricky. Now, we all didn't live together. They would live with us on the weekends sometimes, and my dad had them. Now, I became close with my sister as I got older because I would work for my brother-in-law. One year I worked for my brother-in-law's construction company. Go figure, Italian in a construction company. And in Rochester, so I worked for his construction company as a mason. Mason's assistant, a laborer. Horrible job. Worst fucking job you could possibly ever have. And I get shit thrown at me by all the fucking guinea motherfuckers. Tell me I was too slow. You're going too slow, you fuck. And they throw trowels at me. Horrible stuff. I remember one time they were laying like a sidewalk. And I remember I was jumping over the sidewalk to get and moving stuff, and one of the guys kept telling me, you're gonna fuck up and slip, and I'm, yeah, don't worry, I'm not gonna. Just go around. And I'm like, oh. And I remember one time I jumped, and my heel got hit right in the mud, and oh man, I thought I was gonna get the shit beat out. I literally had to run. I swear to God. I was 16. It was the summer job, and my brother-in-law's partner, John, this old guinea motherfucker, and he was one of those guys that would just like his roughhouse with you was like painful. And I remember when I kept jumping over and stuff, he told me, he goes, if you fucking fall in there, he goes, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And I remember literally when I fucking landed in that cement, and he looked at me, and I just seen in his eyes that he literally got up and started to fucking chase me, and I had to literally run. I ran. I fucking ran because we have different areas. So I was going from here to that rock pile to lugging this, and I remember running over to where I had to go and lug bricks, hoping that he wouldn't fucking come and chase me down. And he didn't, because he was like, fuck that. And I could hear him go, when you come back here, I'm going to kick your ass. And I remember just staying over there for like an hour and a half. And I remember coming back with one of the wheelbarrows. I'm like, come on, John, you can't beat my ass while I got the wheelbarrow. I remember he didn't do nothing to the end of the day. And he hit me, gave me a dead arm that literally I don't think it fucking managed to come back for like a week, literally. Like, he hit me, and it was just like this. So that was the environment that my sister was married to. And I guess I wasn't here. I wasn't here. I wasn't in Rochester at the time. I was actually out here. And I guess my brother-in-law started suspecting that my sister was cheating on him. And so he wound up going and following her to a rendezvous that she had. And it was in a hotel room. And he breaks into the hotel room thinking he's going to find somebody with a big old sausage. And he winds up finding my sister with a chick. And he was just like, You know, it's like you're ready to fucking start throttling a motherfucker. All of a sudden you're like kicking the door and there's a chick, you know, chicks with strap-ons, and it's like, what the fuck? And so that was my sister's coming out party, and the girl that she wound up cheating with and like being caught in the hotel is who she's still with today. My sister is still with this girl today, and the girl is an attractive. I think she's an Italian. I don't know what the fuck she is, but she's the woman, and my sister's the fucking butchy lesbo. And my sister would wear like fucking. My sister would. I swear to God, my sister would wear like camo, fucking, like board shorts, to fucking with this white shirt. It's so gay. It's just so gay. Just over the top gay. It's classic stuff, man. But that basically was the big Zakari secret, because when that happened, no one talked about it. No one talked about it. My dad was like in denial. I mean, it was the thing that nobody talked about. My mom, I guess, actually talked to my sister, and my sister told my mom that she knew when she was like in her teens, like late teens, and it goes with this program I watched last night where these, and like I said, the best way I can describe it is I think her name was Chrissy Gephardt. Her name was Chrissy, I think, Gephardt. But of course it's Gephardt, but I'm just thinking if her first name was Chrissy. And very similar. And it shows Gephardt's daughter with the long hair, and she's married, but she didn't get caught. Well, she was hanging out with a girl, but she eventually told the husband, hey, we got a divorce because we're best friends, but I don't want to be with you. I want to be with this chick. And my sister never told my brother-in-law. She just was like, you know, fuck it. I'm just going to cheat and, you know, go from there, because my sister didn't know how to, well, ultimately it was super messy. My brother-in-law didn't even pay child support, and my sister never pushed the issue because she was terrified my brother-in-law would fucking try to take the kids and tell the courts and stuff that she was a homo, because that's what he would tell her. Remember, you're going back 89? Well, no. Yeah, about probably 92, 91. You know, we're still, you know, fucking God hates fags world, fucking still. And my brother-in-law did not give my sister child support. I still think he doesn't pay her child support. My sister has the kids, and they're old now. My nieces are in college now. At least, yeah, one of them I know is. I think the other one is. I'm not sure. I don't even fucking talk to them. My sister, I don't really talk to my sister. I told her to call into the show once, and she didn't call in. I think she's afraid I put her on blast about being a fag, but she hasn't called. Seriously, my brother or my Byron would talk to her on Facebook, and she has never really communicated with me. So go figure. You know, and I'm the guy that's fucking sympathetic to her homo plight, and totally into her being fucking super gay. Fucking, you know, but you know, go figure. But my brother-in-law, up until a couple years ago, still wouldn't pay child support. My sister actually moved in with my parents when she. I mean, like I said, my sister basically, and it's a shame because I know there's a lot of gays that have gone that route, and it's a shame. But my sister basically gave up everything that she shouldn't have given up, so she could basically keep her kids. And she was terrified that if she pushed any issues, my brother-in-law would take the kids He would basically out her and the entire Rochester community, because it's not a huge town, and tell everybody that she was a fag, and she would never be able to have and see the kids. So my sister wound up moving in with my parents, and her kids lived with my parents, and they basically lived in my parents' house for, I think, 10 years, 12 years, literally, until my nieces went to college, went to school. Now, again, we're not talking about my parents living in a fucking mobile home and fucking, remember, you're talking about big shots over there. My parents spent half the year in their houses in Florida and the Caribbean, in Old Bahama Bay next to John Travolta, and the other time in the summer in Rochester. So my sister would live there and basically take care of the house. She was like the innkeeper. It's basically what she did. She kept the house up, mowed the lawn, made sure, or shoveled the snow. Basically, that was their job. My dad said, "All right, you can take care of the house. You can be the innkeeper, you homo." So my sister lived there and basically raised those kids on her own. They would see their dad on the weekends, and my nieces were the first kids, I would say, that I ever knew that were officially able to use those words. I have two mommies, because they were brought up by two women. God damn it. Hold on, we just lost you guys, so hold on. We're back, hold on.
The Westboro Baptist Church in Kansas is in a care facility right now, according to a church.
Hold on, guys.
Reverend Fred Phelps is 84 years old.
I lost you guys, so hold on.
Westboro Baptist Church, best known for its anti-gay sentiments and frequent protests.
Hold on. All right, we're back up, guys. Sorry, all the cords are running in here, all funky because of all the changes, and we had to move shit around. So when we move shit around, all these cords are everywhere, and I haven't been able to put them back the way they're supposed to be, so I'm sorry about that. So just fucking refresh your browsers, jerk-offs, and you'll see that we're back up. So refresh your browsers. Go ahead, refresh your browsers. I'll give you guys a chance to refresh your browsers. There you go, refresh your browsers. Thank you, fags. Thank you, fags. Katie told me there's no gay gene on her side, just bi-curious people. So I only got a half gay gene on my side, everybody. That's all. It's the half gay gene. That's all. Just a half gay gene. But anyways, like I was saying before we lost you guys, my sister and my nieces are part of that, that group of, mommy has two daughters, mommy has two, so forth and so on. Mommy has two moms, or whatever the fuck it is. Anyways, that is my connection to gays, so to speak. So I've had a lot of experience with the plight, and like I said, I've always treated the gay community and gays, like I've said before, as if they're anybody else. I don't play that. I don't play that extra gentle with kid gloves. I call my sister Rosie O'Donnell. I bust balls whenever I talk to her because my point and my concept has always been by treating her with kid gloves or treating her as something that is fragile and something that is not like other people, you ultimately, I feel, cast the gay community or people that are gay as different because you say, oh, I can't say this around you, or I can't do that around you, or I have to do this. And when you start down that route, you now instantly make somebody feel that they are different. It's kind of like when you are with somebody that is an alcoholic and they've been in the program for however long. And when you're with them, you guys, don't talk about drinking, or you can't drink in front of them. And if you go to a dinner, nobody can drink alcohol. Or if you have a party, it's got to be a dry party. To me, that's bullshit. To me, you're bringing and giving attention to the fact that this person is an alcoholic. It's kind of like having a party and you got a bunch of rowdy friends, or you just got a bunch of loudmouth motherfuckers, and you go, all right, guys, now listen. My sister's coming, and she's gay, and she's probably going to bring a couple of her gay friends. And now, don't make any gay jokes, and don't be all crazy because she looks militant. To me, that is now putting people on blast and hypersensitive of things. I've never done that. I've never sat there and said, oh, well, I'm going to be around a bunch of gay people. I better not make a gay joke, or I better not say anything controversial. Fuck that. Now you're putting people in a class that you have to now give them special treatment, and they don't need special treatment. Okay? There is no, and when the minute you start doing that, now you're asking for trouble. And we're not talking about, we don't serve you food, gay. We don't serve you food, black. We're not talking about that. We're talking about being involved with somebody on a social level and going, oh, I better not say this because this person might think that I feel ill will about somebody that's black or somebody that's gay. That's what I'm talking about. Not, nobody should ever be discriminated against because of their color or because they like sucking dick or whatever it is. And when I mean discriminated against, saying, hey, you're not allowed to eat at this restaurant. You're not allowed to shop here. You're not allowed to go to this place. You're not allowed to speak. You're not. That's what I'm talking about. And women went through the same shit years and years and years and years and years ago. So every group has gone through those types of things. And when I say group, gays, blacks, women, and when you hear people go, well, Italians are discriminated, get the fuck out of here. Irish were discriminated, get the fuck out of here. There's never been a fucking group other than gays, blacks, and fucking women. Every other of the Indians, they don't fucking count. Chinese don't count. They technically, if you want to be uber racist-y, if you want to call it that, we're not the fabric of what the country was made up of. Okay, they weren't. You know, what the country was not founded and made up by Japanese people. The country wasn't founded and made up by you know, Indians, by Pakistanis. They just came over later. The country was founded and made up by blacks, by women, you know, these types of groups that have been persecuted through all these years. Gays, trust me. You trust me. There's fucking guys sucking on each other's dicks back in the fucking colonial time. Trust me on that, motherfucker. Trust me on that. There are motherfuckers sucking on each other. That's life. That's fucking evolution of life. Cavemen days, people were fucking sucking on each other's dicks. Trust me. Alright? You had Caveman 1 and Caveman 2 were going off in the fucking corner, slamming each other up their assholes. You can bet on that, motherfucker. So, this documentary, guys, if you have a chance, watch it. It's a great documentary. I thank Patrick for tuning us on to it. And it's funny because Patrick said, hey, if you, you know, I know I send you a lot of these documentary things, and I don't know if you have time. If you want, I'll stop. And I told him, I said, no, keep sending them. Some of them I'm not going to watch because they're fucking stupid, but some of them I will watch, like this. Patrick sent me one about a bunch of skateboarders. I don't give a fuck about a bunch of skateboarders. They can go fuck themselves. He sent me one about a guy that paints the movie art. I didn't watch it. It mildly looked interesting, but it was something that I wasn't going to take an hour and a half out of my life to watch a guy paint Indiana Jones in the last fucking Ark fucking movie picture. Who gives a fuck? But this one, the Bible tells me so, is a great one. So if you guys get a chance, watch this Bible tells me so. And it's a great documentary. And again, it breaks down where the Bible says God hates fags, and the truth of that, and the truth of it being that is about as real as God telling you not to eat shrimp, God telling you to give away all your wealth, God telling you to have multiple wives, God telling you to fucking stone your fucking kid, God telling you to live in a whale's mouth, all that bullshit. So watch it. It's a good goddamn documentary, and you'll be pleased that you did. It won't be a waste of time. And you'll say, Rob Black, thank you. Thank you. And I'll say, no, you must thank Patrick. Patrick is the man that told us to watch that show. All right, guys, it is the Rob Black experience, the Rob Black Show, and we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about probably some current events, some airplanes, and what the fuck is going on. Until then, read about my love of fat broads. And it's the Rob Black Show. Oh, Jesus. And, all right, and here's the press release. And I'll bring this press release up because she tweeted me. And I wasn't being mean, but it's kind of amusing. But I guess Carla Lane is ready for the Avian Awards show. And Carla Lane is a BBW, and she is nominated, ladies and gentlemen, for the BBW Performer of the Year. Brand new category. We've talked about it into great detail. Yes, we did. And Carla Lane is appearing at AEE. She will be at Bingo, Porn Star Bingo, and she will be there to meet all of her fans and friends alike. And my question is this, and not to get my book on, let me finish my Carla Lane story. So I guess today on my Twitter, because again, Tom Byron does my Twitter. I do not do my Twitter. He does. He does my Twitter. He does my Facebook. He does all my social media stuff. I do not handle it. Tom Byron does. So if there's anything important or worthy of me commenting on, he will tell me. He will tell me and say, yo, blah, blah, blah. So today, Carla Lane hit my Twitter. And she sent me a tweet and said, I'm one of those fatties that you were talking about, and I worked for you. I'm not 100% sure what the tweet was verbatim, but it was pretty close to that. Basically, Tom Byron said she must have read the story about grazing and eating and the fact that the BBWs were going to save me from my anorexia. And when I was diagnosed with anorexia by my doctor, and I did a story about meeting the BBW Performer of the Year nominees to help me come up with a diet plan that would involve a meal deal system where every day I would pick a BBW performer and they would give me their meal deal plan so I could pack on the weight, because my doctor was a little concerned about my anorexia. And I had to explain to him, Doc, I'm not anorexic. I used to be a fat slob, and I have lost all this weight. It's taken me 4 fucking years. We're not talking about overnight. We're talking about 4 years. I'm not Tom Hanks from Philadelphia with a giant fucking AIDS lesion on my fucking face going, I have AIDS. Okay? It's taken me 4 years to get down to the weight that I'm at now. And I reminded everybody that, yes, I used to weigh a whopping 250 pounds. So that is what I looked like when I went to prison. 250 fucking pounds. And that I've always wanted to have a body like this. I know I'm fucking hairy and gross and bear-like, but ultimately, I always wanted to have a body where I could go on the beach and be like, be like a fucking cool dude, like a cool pretty boy dude. Always wanted that. And now I finally got that. So I had to explain to my doctor, Doc, listen, shithead, I'm here because I stopped doing dope. And I cleaned up and I stopped doing fucking my antidepressants. And then I'm clean and I'm fucking sober, but my chest hurts and my lungs hurt, my fucking asshole hurts and my eyeballs hurt. Every fucking thing on me hurts. And I want to make sure that I'm all right and I don't have tumors and shit like that. And he goes, you need to eat. And I said, motherfucker, just check me out, will you please? So after I had chest x-rays, and after he drew all my blood, and after everything was negative, and he said, listen, you're fucking healthy aside from the fact that you're fucking too skinny. And I said, all right, jerk off. Now I can go to what I want to do. He goes, what is that? And I go, well, now, Doc, now that I'm at a fucking nice fucking base build weight, I now can go and put on about 15 pounds of just fucking muscle, and I can start fucking just jacking up, man, where I'm just fucking nuts. So I can get around, right now I'm about 140. And if I could get to about 156 or 157 of just like fucking rock muscle, you know, I'll be fucking just retarded with the fucking. I mean, I literally would never leave the house. I would just fuck myself from morning to night. So I explained how the BWs on a Monday would feed me pizzas, but each girl would have their own diet plan. And I said, you know, Kelly Sabari might have a diet plan that consists of eating nothing but ham. And I would go, hey, where's the food? And she'd go, I have some ham. And she would just give me a fucking ham that's about this big. And me and her would just eat a ham. And then I talked about Carla Lane, and she would give me the special code to go get like 72-ounce big gulps and fill them up with McDonald's chocolate milkshakes. And I just fucking put my face in it and just inhale it like it's fucking oxygen. But instead it's a vat of ice cream. I'm just like doing it. So Tom Byron feels that it was that routine that Carla Lane tweeted me and said, I was one of those people that you shot. And I laughed, and Tom Byron said, when we were in the car, you know, there's the tweet, and I said, oh. And he said, okay, when did you shoot her? I said, I shot her twice. And Tom Byron goes, what? And I go, well, the funny thing is, she's talking about the first shoot as if, like, we were, like, as if we put together a movie that involved fat girls and called it Midsummer Night's Dream. And she's questioning as if we're making fun of fat girls, but yet we're making romance movies with them. And I had to find Tom Byron that we shot Carla Lane in a movie called Mercy Fuck. Okay? It was called Mercy Fuck. And the premise of it was we had a kid that worked for us named Chris Justice. Now, that is the name I gave him. And what his real name is Chris Evans, which is, you know, Alana Evans' husband. And he worked for us. And I refused to have him go by the name of Chris Evans. I said, bro, you're not going to fucking be working here and have the name of your fucking wife/girlfriend. I go, that is so lame. It is such a fucking loser move. And it's basically revolting. So, we came up with the name Chris Justice. I think it's an awesome name. And the whole concept was, you know, Chris Justice. He's laying the justice down. So it was like a really cool mantra. And Chris loved to fuck anything. I mean, literally, he didn't give a fuck. He did the blowjob lines, and he had fucking every animal sucking on his dick. I mean, he was a man after my own heart. So we came up with the concept of him fucking fat, ugly bitches and calling it Mercy Fuck. Because Chris is a really good-looking kid. At least I thought he was. Maybe that's the gayness in me. But when it comes to all the guy talent back then, if anybody knows Chris Justice or Chris Evans, listen, take a look at him and put him here, and then look at like Scott Lyons, Torno Dan, fuck, the guys from Corn Bros, any of the fucking, even Tommy Pistol with his fucking 5'4", uncircumcised, tatted up, disgusting body. I mean, and the list goes on. And Chris Evans, is like a big old motherfucker. You know, he's like 6'2", 6'3", in shape, good body, big dick. I mean, he was a good-looking kid. So the premise was all of these fat slobs are basically going to be lucky and privileged to fuck such an awesome-looking dude. Swear to God, that was my premise. And I said, we'll call it mercy fuck. And basically, you're fucking these girls to give them, you know, a final enjoyment because they've never been fucked by anybody good looking. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is, again, we're pioneers of the genre. You know, we're doing fat movies when fat movies weren't exactly vogue. You know, me, Jim Lane, you know, Jim Powers. I'll never forget Jim Powers created a movie that was probably one of the best titles in history. And it was called The Fat, the Bald, the Ugly. Fucking Jim Powers, man. Fucking The Fat, the Bald, the Ugly. So, when we made Mercy Fucks, then the concept was shoot the girls and make them look pretty. And it would be funny to pick these big beasts as if they're normal-sized girls. So we were doing montages, like the Tom Byron montages, where like the real cool music, and the girls like do 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 do, and the girls like spread their ass and she's dancing. And the comedy element was having 500-pound beasts doing the Tom Byron imitation, and you know the camera's going in and out, and it's basically seeing and smelling every facet of gristle. So Carla Lane's routine was Tom Byron's old house, and he had this in-ground pool. And I say in-ground pool like I'm from the East Coast. I don't think you fuckers have ever seen an above-ground pool. What am I saying? I had an above-ground pool. That's how old school I am. An above-ground pool, ladies and gentlemen, is a goddamn pool that is like this tall, and it's above ground. It looks like a kiddie pool, except it's huge. And it's a pool that costs thousands of dollars. Not that shit you buy at Toys R Us, but literally, it's a fucking like Olympic-sized pool, but it's above ground. It's fucking shit, man. It's for people who don't want to dig up the backyard, and they don't want to fucking go through that process. And when my parents bought the house that we lived in Benfield, it had an above-ground pool. And I remember going, Dad, why don't you get a fucking in-ground pool? He's like, oh, what are you talking about? Jesus Christ, come on, what's wrong? You got your friend Greg Chapler across the street, he's got an in-ground pool. Say, all right, Chad. So we had the builder's house, the richest house. We had the fucking Mercedes Benzes, we had everything in the thing. And then you went in our backyard and we had the welfare pool. Fucking, there's my dad, the wizard, the Italian wizard. Fucking, oh, it's too much money. Really? Dad rolling around in a fucking customized Cadillac back in the day when that was unheard of. And you're saying that a in-ground pool is too much money for Rochester, New York, when the summers were like 100 degrees. Yeah, okay. So we had Carla Lane in the pool, and Tom Byron had this giant rock waterfall. It's beautiful. So I told
we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Make sure you shoot Carla in the rock waterfall.
I'm looking handsome over
They
here.
have her like fucking drunk.
How we doing today on the ROB Black Show? Yeah, baby. I want to talk about
some current events today and exactly what the hell's going on. I'll tell you, are we going to get into a little world war here with our are we going to get into a little world war here? Huh? We're gonna get into a little world war here? What's going on here? Are we gonna get into a little world war here? First, here's an interesting tidbit before we get into World War. Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay was just arrested. Man, this guy's all fucked up. The owner of the Indianapolis Colts, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, was arrested yesterday on drug possession, felony arrest, and driving under the influence. He's all fucked up. So listen to this. I guess it says Israel's personal demons were, if not an open secret throughout the league, then at least a topic of open speculation. The 54-year-old admitted battling substance abuse in the past, including admissions of treatment for prescription drug use, and a claim that he quit alcohol 15 years ago. Although almost no one could have thought earlier fight was without setback. He was an erratic, if likable, and colorful figure. Widespread talents of his late-night antics were everywhere, though. His personality was there for anyone to see via his rants on Twitter, which were occasionally off the wall and nothing like you get from a prototypical NFL owner. His weight and appearance fluctuated. He was divorced after a long but uneven marriage last November. Irsay was one of a kind in a league dominated by owners who projected themselves conservative and and reserved images. Wellington Mara, he was not. Now it's all on the table. All easy to see after he was booked into the Hamilton County, Indianapolis jail around midnight, Sunday night, Monday morning, after being arrested by police in suburban Indianapolis for driving under the influence of possession of controlled substances. He faces 4 Class D felony counts, each of which can carry between 6 months and 3 years in prison. This is serious stuff, even for a man of great wealth and influence. The NFL can itself fine and punish him as if they would a player or any other employee in the least of its concerns. Getting clean and healthy is the #1, because without that, there is nothing. There wasn't just another rich guy driving drunk. This wasn't the owner of the Colts having way too much wine one night over St. Elmo and arrogantly thinking he could make his way home and needing a serious apology to everyone. There may have been alcohol. There may not have even been alcohol involved. This is a serious sign of a desperate man who is destined for worse. There he was, rolling through the quiet, tree-lined streets of his affluent suburban neighborhood in a car full of prescription drugs he shouldn't have possessed. You could always curse a drunk driver, rich or poor, for just not getting into a cab or limo, but Irsay was living a lie, and the first casualty of his addiction is always the truth. It was apparently just a matter of time before police somewhere found him like this. His car stopped in the middle of a tree-lined street overlooking a picturesque lake. During the course of an investigation, Irsay subsequently failed several roadside sobriety tests, the police said. When police searched Israel's Toyota Highlander, what the fuck's he driving a Toyota Highlander for? How's that? Just the fact that the goddamn owner of the Indianapolis Colts is driving a fucking Toyota Highlander. The fuck would drive a Toyota Highlander if you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars? I'm sorry. He's worth $1.6 billion. The guy's worth $1.6 billion and he's driving around a Toyota Highlander. First off, motherfucker, if I'm worth $1.6 billion, I'm driving around in a limo. that someone's driving me and I'm fucked up with hookers, dwarfs, and you name it. I'm in a limo if I'm worth 1.6 billion. I'm in my limo with about 3 hookers and 2 dwarfs. That's what I'm doing. Why the dwarfs? Because I got 1.6 billion. And I got dwarfs, and I like dwarfs, and they fucking amuse me. That's why. And if I got 1.6 billion, I got 3 hookers, 2 dwarfs, and so many prescription drugs. Just call me fucking CVS Pharmacy, motherfucker. All right. Anyways, when the police searched this dummy's Toyota Highlander, multiple prescription drugs were discovered in pill bottles. These scheduled 4 prescription drugs are not associated with any prescription bottles found in the vehicle. This isn't pretty. The only positives here is no one, including Israel, was injured. It may serve as a wake-up call. It better. Israel's father, Robert, was a self-made multi-millionaire, construction magnate who bought the Baltimore Colts in '72 and controversially moved the team in the middle of the night to Indy in '84. After his death in '86, he left his fortune, including the Colts, to his son Jim, who is now worth an estimated $1.6 billion. Jim Israel is unlike any of the other NFL owners. He's a passionate fan of music with a wild streak and a brash speaking style. He's popular in Indy, a man who built a Super Bowl champion, helped get Civic Treasure Lucas Oil Stadium built, pitched the city as a Super Bowl host, and was willing to make bold moves such as releasing Peyton Manning to rebuild the club. All the while, he keeps a public persona, interacting with fans around the town on social media. He speaks his mind. In a league where too many owners are unapproachable, he can be, even when he's brash, a difficult and welcome change of pace. Yet, it all worries and whispers, Israel admitted he needed to quit drinking years ago and said he did. He acknowledged getting hooked on painkillers after a couple surgeries, but said he'd beaten it via rehab. In the end, though, it appears he had. His booking photo shows a mess of a man who'd been through a dramatic weight loss of late, a half-conscious billionaire alone and helpless. Reality is hitting Jim Israel hard this morning. He needs serious assistance to get back on track. He faces some daunting legal issues. 4 felonies are not easy to escape, especially with the judicial system that will be under spotlight to not cut a powerful, politically connected rich man a break. That all can wait, though. The news NFL dreaded but couldn't have fully dubbed came in Monday. Now it's the league's job to help one of its own lads build. Please. If Rush Limbaugh can get fucking off and he's fucking doctor shopping, I'm pretty sure that a fucking billionaire football owner who wasn't doctor shopping and was just out having some fucking a little crazy fun with some fucking prescription pills can get out of 4 felony arrests. Jesus Christ. Yahoo. Who's the Dan Wenzel for Yahoo Sports? Dan Wenzel. Jesus Christ. Stop being such a fucking puss ass. Seriously, bro. Seriously. Okay? Seriously. The guy has got a pill problem. He wasn't doctor shopping. He's got a bunch of fucking pills. And if Rush Limbaugh can fucking get off, I'm pretty sure a billionaire can get off. And Rush Limbaugh is far from a fucking billionaire. Okay? And he's got enough democratic evil, he's got enough fucking people in the Democratic side that would love to have that evil motherfucker burn in hell. So, please, what a fucking Dan Wetzel. What a fucking Jesus Christ. Chill the fuck out, man. Chill the fuck out. Guy likes fucking, the guy fucking's a pill popper. No different than Brett Favre got hooked on fucking pain pills. Jesus. You think it's hard for a fucking an owner to not get any fucking pills? Seriously, I mean, he's in a league that deals in injury and pain. He has his own field doctors. He's got his own doctors that work for the cults. So please, Wenzel, my biggest problem is the guy was driving a fucking Toyota Highlander by himself. A, he could have fucking injured people, and B, he could have injured himself, and C, it's a Toyota Highlander. All three of those things are fucking horrible, okay? Please, already. Get the guy a little help, teach him how to properly have a good time, and back to new. What's the league gonna do? What is the league gonna do? Okay, what are you talking about? Ray Lewis was involved with a fucking murder, okay, and he's fucking winning Super Bowls. Get the fuck out of here, Dan Wenzel. The league gonna do? The league's gonna go, hey Jim, you got a little fucked up. Why? You know what's gonna happen? Jerry Jones and a couple of the and Robert Kraft called him up and said, "Hey Jim," and he went, "Hey guys," and they went, "Listen, three things. Number one, why were you driving fucked up on pills? Number two, why were you driving a Toyota Highlander? And number three, why didn't you get a fucking limo and 3 hookers and 2 dwarfs?" And Jim's gonna go, "I don't know, guys." And they're gonna go, "Okay, well, you're gonna have to fucking go to rehab. You're gonna have to do some fucking drug commercials. You're gonna have to make a deal. You're gonna have to get on probation, and you're gonna have to tell everybody you're sorry." "I know, guys. All right, see you later." Click. And he's gonna hire a lawyer. I don't know. He's got $1.6 billion. He's gonna hire a lawyer, and a lawyer is gonna go in and talk to the DA and say, "Hey, how you doing? Yeah, he's really sorry, and he needs help, and he needs to go to treatment, and he owns the Colts. He owns Lucas Oil Stadium. He owns everything in this city that keeps pumping the economy going, which keeps you prosecutors and you motherfucking people making money here. So are you going to put him in jail?" And the prosecutors are going to go, "Of course not. What do you want us, sure, what should we do?" And he's going to go, "Here's the deal, blah, blah, blah." You fucking Mark Wenzel. Dan Wenzel, fucking dummy. What an asshole. Seriously. What an asshole. Fuck, man. Jesus Christ. Fucking guy is amazing. Fucking Jesus. Man. God, it pisses me off. It does. It pisses me off. Totally pisses me off. I gotta stick up for the man there. I mean, it's bullshit. Anyways, so there's Jim Isray, owner of the Colts, getting fucked up. The Isman's getting fucked up, and that's a big deal. So, Jimmy, go get some help and get back to the Colts, and life will go on. All right. Now let's get to the story that we really want to know, and this is the story. Where's the goddamn plane? Where's that fucking Malaysian airliner? That's what we want to know. Where is Flight 370? Okay? Where's the goddamn flight? That's what we want to know. Where's the fucking flight? We were going to talk about Putin and the nuclear war that's coming, but fuck that. That's bullshit. We don't care about it. If Putin nukes us, he nukes us. We want to know where the goddamn airplane is. Where's the fucking airplane? It's a simple question. Where's the airplane? Who's got the airplane? Where's the fucking airplane? Okay? Now, we all talked about our theory, and Jack Smack sent his theory in. He said it was in Somalia. It's touched down in Somalia. Now, I think it's in Pakistan. Okay? Now, the Somali would work because why else would a bunch of Somalian pirates go for the airplane to get their teeth fixed? We've all seen the movie Captain Phillips. We all seen that Somalian pirate that said, "I am the captain now! I am the captain now!" You see how fucked up his teeth were? All them Somalian motherfuckers' teeth are fucked up. So I can see them taking that airplane, they have it fucking docked somewhere, and they're going to basically hold the thing for ransom and say, "Hey, we want $3 billion so we can get our fucking teeth fixed." All right? There's about 1,000 of us that need orthodontists. We need headgear. We need retainers. You get us some new fucking grills, goddammit, and we'll let all these chinks away, okay? We'll get them all free. Now, they haven't talked about Somalia. Everybody's talking about these goddamn, everybody's talking about Pakistan. But what we do know is this plane was flying possibly at 5,000 feet, purposely to get under the radar. And I've said this time in and time out. It ain't no terrorism against America. People are starting to say, "Oh, it's terrorism, America." Not bullshit. You had one American on the airplane, this poor bastard. One guy. I feel horrible for him. This one dude is on a plane with fucking 100 and 230 chinks. And this motherfucker's on this plane, and he's like, "Fuck! God damn it! I can't talk to anybody." And then the cocksucker's on the plane, and he's like, "Hey man, we should have fucking been where we had to go about 2 hours ago." And then he went, "Man, where the fuck are we going, man?" And then the guy come and go, "The airplane to Kazakhstan." And he went, "What? Where the fuck am I going?" Motherfucker, I'm the only American on this plane, and it gets fucking taken to Kazakhstan. Ain't this about a bitch, man? How the fuck did I get so shit-ass luck with this? Fuck! And I almost didn't get on this plane. I almost fucking stayed behind and spent another day with them hookers in fucking Malaysia. Fuck! Why didn't I stay? Why didn't I stay? That's who I feel bad about. Fuck them chinks. Alright? So, now here's the juice. The plane was flying 5,000 feet or less. They used mountains and terrain to evade radar detection. Okay? You guys get that? Timeline and clarification. Ahmad Jarari said Monday that it wasn't clear whether the final words from the cockpit came before or after the plane's data reporting system was shut down. Earlier, Malaysian Airlines had sent the message, all right, good night. That's what I've been twittering, ladies and gentlemen, since yesterday. All right, good night. All right. That's the new catchphrase, the Rob Black Show. And they weren't sure if that was the last transmission. A senior Indian military official told CNN on Monday that military radar near Amandi and Nicobar Islands isn't as closely watched as other radar systems. That leaves open the possibility that Indian radar systems may not have picked up the airplane at the time of its last known Malaysian radar contact near the tiny island of Palu, Perak, in the Straits of Malacca. Earlier speculation had centered on the idea the plane may have flown over or perhaps even landed in the islands, but no trace of it has been found in the region despite intensive searches by Indian military officials. What I tell you guys, now all of a sudden the Indians are going, oh, wow, Indian radar, we might not have picked it up. Sure, I told you guys, remember, the Indians are still pissed off at us because we just fucking re-indicted that Indian consulate lady. So, trust me, the Indians have no love lost for us. They did lift all of the barricades on our consulate in India so that fucking basically a terrorist can blow our shit up. So let's not all be fucking jumping on the Indian bandwagon of, oh, okay, Indians said they're cool. No, please, guys. Okay? Please. The chinks, okay, those little motherfuckers, China said Monday that it had deployed 10 ships, 21 satellites, and multiple aircraft to aid in the search. Premier Lee Kuan spoke with Malaysian Prime Minister Nayuba Rasku to ask for more information to help speed the search along, according to a statement posted on the Chinese government website. The U.S. Navy pulling out destroyer. The U.S. kids expected to stop searching for the plane in the Indian Ocean in the coming days, according to several U.S. officials. That's partly because Australians are taking over the majority of the search in the area. Officials said a U.S. P-8 aircraft will move to Perth, Australia, to be based there for searching. Fewer U.S. assets will be involved in the search for the missing plane, but U.S. officials said P-8 will be able to cover a wider range of ocean more quickly than a ship could. Okay? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the newest news. I believe that this fucking plane is touched down somewhere. We don't know why, though. You know, you have to sit there and say, well, if the plane is, if the fucking plane is docked somewhere, okay? The fucking plane is docked somewhere, okay? The plane is fucking docked somewhere. Why? Okay? Why? If the plane is docked somewhere, why is that? And what do the people want that took it? Now, if this is the case, you would think that after a week, you would think after a goddamn week that that they would fucking say, hey, this is what we want, and this is what, has been, this is what it's about, this is what we want, you better fucking, give us fucking new teeth, something. But they're not. And that's then what makes you flip to the concept that it crashed by trying to do this. And possibly, what basically has, a, Jesus Christ, a ransom type of vibe. Again, they're all chinks. They're all chinks, and it ain't nothing to do with America. So there's one American on the board, and he got fucked over and was like, fuck, I'm on the goddamn shit house of this crap. Okay? Now, they would have already come out and said, this is what it is, this is the problem, this is, what we want. We want money, we want free, we want food, we want, nobody's done that. So I think the goddamn airplane, in the process of this happening, crashed. That's what I think. I think that the plane crashed while it was trying to land at one of these islands and in a some type of plot, because I think if this was being held by a country right now in some type of ransom situation, they would have already spoken and said, hey, here's the demands. So it ain't terrorists, because, again, terrorists would have already said what they wanted. And more than that, I said this Thursday and Friday, terrorist organizations have been bragging already. They've been like, ha ha ha, we took your fucking airplane, you can't find it, fuck you. Nobody's done that. And there's one American on there. One American. What do you think, a terrorist? Al-Qaeda's gonna take fucking a bunch of chinks? No. They don't fucking care about chinks. They don't care. They want Americans. What they hijacked the plane and went, one American? Fuck! And then they fucking abandoned the plane in the water? Maybe. Maybe they thought it was a plane full of Americans. And when they seen the one guy, they were like, one dude? One? Fuck it. Ditch the plane. But I don't think so. I got to imagine that they knew in Malaysia that they got nothing but kooks on that fucking plane. So, I really don't think on 11-day missing that this plane is docked somewhere, because somebody would have already said something. Seriously. Somebody would have already said something. Now the lady who's with the one American guy says she feels that he's still alive. My man Phil Wood. That's who I feel horrible for. Phil Wood. That's his name. He's an IBM executive. She thinks that they're being held hostage by hijackers. I don't know, man. I I don't believe it. I think they would have already said something. I think they were in the process of doing it, but I think the hijackers would have already fucking said something. I think they would have already said, this is what we want, and come and, give it to us. But I don't think they, I don't think that, I feel horrible for Phil. It's my man Phil. Seriously, that's my man Phil. That's I'm always gonna fucking that's gonna be my guy Phil, Big Wood. Cause I'm telling you, one poor bastard. It's like, motherfucker, how did I get on this airplane? So that's my fucking. There's my take, ladies and gentlemen. There's my take. Feel bad. But hey, hopefully they will. Hopefully they can find the goddamn people. I doubt it, but I don't want to damper anybody's hopes. Anyways, let's get to our nuclear war. It's 3:01 already. Let's get to our nuclear war with Putin, and then we'll sign off. Okay? And the Dow today is up 200 points. I throw that at you guys. Yep. Dow soars 200 points. 200 fucking points is up today. So they shrugged off the Crimea drama. They're like, fuck Crimea. It was always Russian. It was always Russians in the beginning. Anyways, who gives a shit? It's Russians. The stock market closed at, fuck is it closed at? 16,247. It's up almost 200 points. 181.55 today. So they don't give a fuck about Crimea. And at the end of the day, you have the poot. The fucking poot. Again, you guys, we're going to slap sanctions on Russia. But, what are you going to do? Are you going to go to war with Russia? Seriously. They had a vote. Crimea voted. They wanted to go back home to Russia. Everybody is forgetting that Crimea was given away back in the by Khrushchev back in the day. That Crimea is fucking like 95% Russian. It's not like fucking Australia with a Russian guns to their head said, hey, you're going to take a vote, and you're going to vote to come and be Russian. And they went, oh, okay. They're Crimea, they're Russian. They were always part of Russia. They were basically given away. And at the end of the day, we'll do sanctions, okay? We'll fucking do sanctions, but we talked about this last week. And at the end of it, as many sanctions as we put on Russia, you're going to see the halt of natural gas coming our way. You're going to see the halt of oil. Remember, Russia is the #1 exporter of natural gas and the #2 exporter of oil. And ultimately, when you talk about sanctions, and we start putting up these sanctions, we're either going to have to, now all of you can maybe now sit back and say, okay, we do understand now what Obama was doing, or it's all going to backfire. But if you cut off Russia and decide to play hardball with Russia, you better have another alternative for us to get our energy, which opens up who? Iran. Iran is who we've been talking about, and we've been lifting sanctions on Iran. We've been possibly putting together deals with Iran to get some of their oil. So, ladies and gentlemen, possibly in the bigger picture, we have been working with a strategic goal in mind, and that is, if we're going to shut down Putin and Russia and start putting sanctions, we better have a fucking another way to get those natural resources. We better fucking get a way to start negotiating with more of the Middle Easterners to get that fucking oil. Because ultimately, until we're not dependent on oil, we're fucked. And Russia is an exporter of oil. So, at the end of the day, we're going to put sanctions on Russia. We're going to freeze assets. It's going to get very Cold War-ish, okay? It's going to get very Cold War-ish, but there ain't nothing else that we can do. We ain't going to war with fucking Russia. We're not going to start nuking each other, okay? That is a lose-lose for everybody. And ultimately, you have Crimea, who's now going to have to get all of their supplies and their energy and everything from Russia. And if they're going to get their $1.2 billion budget from Russia from now on, that's fine. If they're going to get 90% of its water from Russia, that's fine. 80% of its electricity, that's fine. 65% of their gas, that's fine. That is all of the elements that they get from the Ukraine. Ukraine supplies them all of those things. So guess what? Now Crimea has to get it from Russia. And let Russia fucking flip the bill for it. Who cares? They did it before. Again, we act like Russia just went into Australia and took it over. We're talking about a country, a little piece of shit area that none of us have ever heard of before. None of us give a fuck about. And it was something that was given away by Khrushchev. And guess what? The people, when they were basically traded out to fucking Ukraine, those people hated it. And they've been wanting to go home to Russia for the last 50, 60 years. They took a vote, and 95% of the people said, yes, we want to go back to Russia. We speak Russian. That is our homeland. We are native Russian. So fuck it. Let them all be a burden on fucking Russia from now on. Let it go back. Who fucking cares? I've seen people try to say, well, that'd be like if, you know, one of these other... What? There's no example you can have. There's absolutely no example. There's no example of anybody that is in the countries and how this would be done. And let's face this, if any of the other countries that have any type of strength wanted to do this, what the fuck would we do? And what if the role was reversed? What if Australia decided they wanted to become part of the United States? What are we gonna, we're not going to let them become part of the United States? Bullshit. Bullshit. This is absolutely a non-factor when it comes to geopolitics. It's a non-factor when it comes to the strength of the president. This is basically a small little piece of shit country, city, whatever the fuck they are, that was once Russia and is again going to return to Russia. And along with that comes about $1.5 billion that Russia is going to have to fucking flip for. And Russia's going to have to supply these people water. And Russia's going to have to supply these people electricity. And Russia's going to have to supply these people fucking independence. So there you go, Russia. You got someone else to suck on mother's tit. Have fun, jerk off. And that's it. And we're going to have these sanctions because that's what we got to do. But at the end of the day, this will dwindle down, and everything will kind of get back to normal. And you already see the German Chancellor Merkel starting to talk with Putin about ideas and demands that she wants. So you already have Putin and Merkel talking about ways to coexist. Remember, Germany, they were used to marching in on land. And ultimately, Germany is going to work with Russia. They're not going to work with America. Why would they work with America? Ultimately, remember, Germany's the ones that killed all the Jews. Remember, Germany ultimately is the country that tried to fucking rule the world. Ultimately, Germany still has that itch to be the fucking dominant leader. So why the fuck would Germany really side with us? Again, you already have them dealing with Putin, talking about more things that they want that will make them feel good. So, again, I think this has a lot to do about a lot of nothing. And ultimately, nobody's going to war. And if they do go to war, we're all going to die. Because war is not an option. There is no option in doing anything that will amount to the destruction of both countries. And that is what will happen. That is exactly what will happen if shit starts involving bombs and explosions and anything like that. So let's keep our eyes on that. But you know, let's say it's really not going to, I think, progress into some nuclear wars here. All right, guys, let's sign off. It's the Rob Black Show. It's time to get out of here. We'll be back tonight at 8 p.m. and we'll bullshit about the airplane. Nighttime is when you get more news on the plane, because right now everybody's asleep over there. You got to reverse the time. So come the nighttime, we will get more news on where the goddamn airplane is, and we will get more information on Russia and Crimea and all the interesting tidbits that are happening over there. But at the end of the day, let's stay vigilant and let's keep our eyes open for the fucking plane! It's the Rob Black Show. We'll see you guys tonight at 8 p.m. And don't forget, we preach intolerance here, okay? We are not role models, not at all. And intolerance is something that we promote and we enjoy. So with that being said, we'll see you guys tonight.